Hey, everybody. Welcome to the OCD Mikey Hi-Fi Guy Show. Got a real good show for you. How is everybody? Welcome to the show. Again, another edition of Live with Mikey, where you can bring whatever you got. You can call in. You can join the fun. Whatever you like to do. Because I got a great show for you tonight. We've got a special guest, Jason Messina, who is Audiophile Junkie. He's going to talk to us about the BACCH SP, and I will talk about my experience at the show, listening to BACCH SP, and then I'm going to go over another little thing we're going to do for a little bit, just a couple an introduction thing. First, we got Wes in the house. What's up, Wes? Says hi. David, what's up, Tribe? What's up, David? What's up? Harsha, namaste. Marvin Haywood, watching. Right on, man. Jasper, welcome. Jasper in the house. You bet. Johnson Robinson, yo. Good to see you too. All right, man. We got the house filling up. I wanted to start out with something kind of interesting. Looks like High Res Audio Costa is here. He's got the SP. He's got the truck. He's got a step van with an audio system in it that is like flat to I don't know what. It's a ridiculous audio system. It's like taken to the max, right? Let's see. Mikey, did you know Jay is audio dealer? I don't know what that means. You have to go a little deeper. Good evening. It was cool meeting you at the show. Yes, Johnson, man. I remember meeting you. For sure, man. It was great meeting you. Mark Hirschling. All right. Our local logger Mark from Scaniland. Edward Chiapponi. Nice, man. Welcome. Ready for Bach. There he goes, man. Nice. Good. Hey, Tribe. Tommy Clark. Checking in from Portland, dealing with cold this weekend. Good to be here. Oh, with a cold. Oh, that sucks. Sorry, man. Representing from the Great White North, man. Good day. Yeah, or I mean, not good day, but I want to throw A in there, but not good day. Eh? Yeah, it was good day. Not good day, but good day. Good day. Eh? You got your toque and your 2-4. Hector Alvarez, welcome in the house. Bob Dundon, what's up, Bob? Good to see you, man. Bob is in the house too. Rob Clendenning, have you ever seen Herd amps with silver windings for the transformers? Yes, and they're very expensive. Hey, Mikey. Hey, Tribe. What's up, Dan? Jay from Jay's Audio Lab is an audio dealer now. Did you know that? No, he's always been an audio seller. He's just finally admitting it. I think that's what it is. Hi from the UK. He sells used audio. Hi from the UK. Present. Yes. Hey, Mikey and Tribe from Myrtle Beach. What's up, man? Oh, Jesus, Myrtle Beach, dude. Are you on fire? I saw some fires going on. Harsha, shout out to my Long Island. Sidoni. He needs a DAC. Help him. Happy to help. That's what I do, man. I help people every day. Did I see Darko's behind the scenes of the big bananas manufacturing? No, I didn't, man. I don't watch I don't watch the I don't watch any of the channels. DeHardy's up in Chicago, man. Get some food, brother. Some good chow up there. Brooklyn checking in. Hey, what's up? Crooklyn in the house. Hey, Dave, what's up, man? Dave is our Bakersfield, California contingent. Welcome. Okay, so remember how I told you guys I would talk about certain things that people brought up to me as things to talk about, like different if you wanted me to check out videos or check out websites or whatever and give you guys a heads up. So I've got something that I'm going to show you in a second. Let me catch up a little bit. Home studio plugins are the real good sound. Manipulating with plugins and acoustic treatment has more impact and sound quality. An example, you are too far from the mic. I'm as far as I want to be to the mic. I can go like this. That's the great thing about it is I can turn up my gain and then I can be further. I can be closer like this. Does that make you feel better? I just turn it up, bro, and then I can stay back. I go back further and I can talk like this and stay back. So I'm not too far from the mic. It's a gain setting, right? So I'll turn this back down so I don't buzz your ear. But anyways, so and this is not where the good sound is important. The good sound is important in the listening room with music, but with talking for for these things, the sound quality is not crucial. It's only crucial when you're listening to music. In my opinion, lots of fires in Myrtle Beach, 1,600 acres, 5 miles away. No injuries, though. Thank God, man. That's gnarly. I can't believe what is it doing like burning out there, bro? Isn't it like you guys? It's lush vegetation. No, it's all green out there. Cool shirt, cooler watch. Thanks, Harsha. Harsha's gonna get a bike one of these days. Harsha has a whole ton of watches. Hello from Melbourne, Australia. Time 1:05 p.m. Sweet, man. Melbourne. That's right. It's Melbourne. It's not Melbourne. Kenny straightened me out on that the other day. Talked to Kenny and his wife. They seem like good peeps. Temporarily moving to Louisville, Kentucky. Are you? For the job? Louisville, Kentucky. Well, you're going to be over here, bro. This way. And it's a lot closer, brother. Hey, Mikey. Hey, Tribe from Greenville. Well, there he is, Charles. You sound great. Thanks, brother. Okay, so it's working. Signing in from cold Norway. What's up, man? Got a pair of B&W 800 Matrix. I know it's vintage, but have you heard? Sound is good. Yeah, the old B&W was great stuff, man. For sure. It's cool. I like the boxy ones, the things that were boxy. I literally sound fine. Okay, good. I turned it up, so I hope that's still okay. Are those transmitter tubes in the Big Nat available as new production or NOS? No, there is yeah, no. That's let me go back. No, they're NOS only. They don't make those anymore. They're NOS. But they don't wear out. I mean, there's these things have been out in the field. I've got some that have been out in the field for like 10 years and the same tubes. So you just get yourself a second pair of tubes. If you're concerned about it, you get a second pair of tubes when you buy them. And then you're just never you'll never go through two sets of tubes. Do you think Trump will put tariffs on hi-fi equipment from other parts of the world? I have no idea, man. I have no idea. I mean, from China, hell yes, absolutely. It's already on. There's already 10 points on China. And I've already heard of Esoteric. Okay, the brand Esoteric, which you would think is a Japanese brand, but it's manufactured in China from what I hear, because Esoteric got a 10% price hike, is what I hear through the grapevine. Hi, I'm interested in MPD6. We'll contact you this week. You better contact me tomorrow, because Andreas is going to, I can still get an MPD6, but it has to be quick, brother. Andreas is going to be out of the country until June. From March, April, May, June. He's going to be out of June. So there's going to be nothing available until June, in about a week. And I can probably get an MPD6 like now, but you have to let me know. I've got 3 MPD8s coming, and I will be the only guy in the US with MPD8s while Andreas is gone. Speed Pass 400, must have it. What the hell's that? Is that the thing that Hardy has? Hey, Mikey, any recommendations on a streamer 3 to 5K? Yeah, either the Nagra, or the Nagra has to go with a certain kind of output, if I'm not mistaken, or the M Labs. And those are both $4,500, I believe. Thanks. Appreciate the update. You bet, man. Triumph. That's what I thought. Yeah. Just Triumph motorcycle. Okay, so let me go right into sharing a screen, and let me see where I'm going over here. Okay, I am, and then I'm gonna have to let's see. Okay, let me share this screen. Okay. So I want to now, okay, before I share the screen, I'm going to preface this with saying I'm picking a dealer out of the blue. Someone mentioned to me about this dealer, and I have no idea who it is. Um the guy could be great and all this kind of stuff, but I want to what I want to do is show you guys how to suss out a dealer, suss out a dealer. Um Pretty much off the cuff. How do you figure out like what they're all about? Okay. The first thing you do is you go to their website. Okay. And we're gonna start by going to this website of this dealer, and then I'm gonna take it from there. Okay. So here we are at this dealer. Okay. Choice Audio, Minnesota. Again, no particular, somebody just said, check this out. They told me about a certain thing. And so I wanted to check it out. And I thought, you know what, let me help my peeps to suss out dealers, because there's so many dealers on the internet right now, and they all purport to be experts, and they all purport to, you know, be big deals or whatever. And, and you need to sort of find out who they are first and foremost, and read the fine print more than anything before you engage. So the first thing I do is I come and I've clicked the About Us. So there's a tab over to here, says About Us. That's the first place I go when I find a dealer. About Us. Who is this person? Okay, it's usually a person who is the founder. As we go in here, it goes about Choice Audio, and it gives us all this BS stuff that you could say about anybody, right? We understand each audiophile's unique preferences and requirements, all just fluff, like, nothing, doesn't mean anything. What I'm looking for here is I'm looking for a person's name and image. Okay, and when I go all the way down here, I don't see anything. I don't see a guy's name or a woman's name. I don't see a person's picture. I don't see anything, any pictures of a store or anything like that. I don't see if it says anything about the location, anything like that. So that's my first red flag. My first red flag when I'm looking is I can't attach a person to this. Okay. So it to me, that's like it's a person is cloaking their identity. Okay. Because they're not saying who they are. Now, I'm not saying this person wouldn't tell you, like the phone number's at the top. You could call them up and you could probably ask him, what's your name? He'd probably tell you. Right. But the fact that it's not in the website and there's no image and there's no, and then we go and we get down to here halfway through. We've got respect for people. We've got a scripture and a reference to the Bible. Okay. So again, okay. So this to me is a little bit, yeah, I know it's nice and all, right? But it sort of puts me on my con scan, like, okay, because, and again, this is my opinion. I think a lot of times people hide behind religion, and they feel like, hey, if I put a Bible verse here, people will trust me because they'll think I'm into Jesus. What? Okay, somebody was saying something. Girlfriend. So that's the next thing. Okay, so I see this here, talking about respect for people, and it's quoting the Bible, but still the guy, we don't know who it is. Now here's where we get into the nitty gritty. Okay. The sales policy. This is where the rubber meets the road. Okay. And these you need to read carefully. And I will repeat, read these carefully. Choice guarantees audio products will not arrive dead on arrival. Okay. That is the absolute minimum possible guarantee that you could give anybody. Okay. As you know, just for reference, I give a guarantee that you're going to be blown away by the performance of what I sell you. Okay. It's not just going to be dead on arrival. It's not going to be as good as anything. It's going to be better than anything you've tried. It will beat what you have, my guarantee, or your money back with no restock fee. That's my policy. Okay. So this one says this is they guarantee that it won't be dead on arrival. Okay. So that is if it was dead on arrival, it would be fraud. Right. So of course it's not going to arrive dead on arrival. It better not, because that's the most minimum guarantee you could possibly give. Okay, so it says it will be if it is DOA, it'll be replaced. And you gotta tell them within 48 hours. Okay. And then it says trade-ins. We accept trade-in equipment. They've got to inspect it. If it doesn't look like you say it's going to look, then they reserve the right to adjust the trade-in value accordingly. And the owner of the trade-in equipment acknowledges and agrees to pay any resulting difference in purchase price. Holy crap. That's got teeth in it. I mean, that means you have to accept whatever they choose as the new price. They could look at it and say, there's a scuff on here. And you could be like, there was no scuff or whatever, some little thing on the bottom of it, where it doesn't matter. Like there's a scuff on the bottom, and that's another $1,000 off or something like that. So this I would be leery of right here. The owner of the trade-in equipment acknowledges and agrees to pay any resulting difference in purchase price. This is putting teeth into the agreement. Okay. Protect your investment with our upgrade policy. Okay, it says that you're eligible for 100% trade-in, which I also do at 1 year. But this one says, in order to the upgrade requirements, the new component must represent a genuine upgrade. It has to be upgrade. So in my policy, I say you can trade in for anything. You can go straight lateral. It does not have to be better. It can be, you can get two things that are less than for the one thing. You can go down and get two things, right? It's not going to be a thing where if you're trading in, and then we can negotiate a buyback where you get cash. But if we're not doing cash and we're just doing trade, you can trade for anything on it doesn't matter. This one says here, it says, meaning it's significantly more expensive. So significantly more expensive. The only way they're going to trade in something, it has to be in mint condition, which is understandable. And then it needs to be significantly more expensive, what you're trading in. So define significantly. This guy could make up anything for significantly. It could be $10,000 more dollars. And it must be purchased at full retail price. Okay, I get that. Trade-ins are not eligible for any additional discounts. You can't trade it in on something that's on sale. Okay, I understand that one. But it needs to be significantly more expensive. That's also got teeth in it. That's a be careful. A deduction of 35 to 50% will be applied for any scratches, missing original packaging. Okay, so this is just to protect them if you send something back not in mint conditions. Now, here is something that I really have never seen before, and I can't believe it. And this speaks volume. This next sentence speaks volume about this dealer. Due to the high value of the products we sell, all new items are considered special order and are non-returnable. Okay, so check that out. Anything that you buy that's brand new, you can't return it. What this says to me is the guy does not have the money to make a return to you. If you buy something for, and he says right here, due to the high value of the products we sell. So he's already citing value. Okay. He's already saying, oh, they're expensive things. I can't really make refunds on expensive things. Why not, dude? What'd you do with the money? Okay. To me, if you're a dealer, you're going to be a dealer like me. Okay. You better have a couple $100,000 liquid ready for anything. You better be ready to make $25,000 returns, $30,000, $50,000 returns if somebody wants it, if somebody needs it. That's the way you do proper business in this industry when you're dealing with stuff like high-end audio. Some guys, what this is like saying to me, they're special order. So this means to me, and this is my speculation. Okay, I don't know this to be true, but what I would guess when I look at this is he has zero inventory. And what he's doing is when you place an order, then he's placing an order. Okay. And then when that thing comes, he ships it to you after he gets it. But then if you don't want it, he doesn't want to be on the hook. He doesn't want any liability, boy, because he's not going to be able to send it back to the manufacturer, but he's not going to handle the return. He wants you to keep it and you get stuck with it if you don't like it. That is huge. This is won't even consider this teeth. This is a shark bite out of your ass. If you agree to this. Once a deposit is accepted, the order is considered final and cannot be canceled. Check that out. There's another thing. If you give me a deposit, you can freaking change your mind. I'll give you 100% of your deposit back for sure. I mean, how else are you going to do business? You're going to tell somebody once they make an order that you can't cancel it? I mean, this is crazy. All new items are covered by the warranty, not Choice Audio. Okay. So for me, I give you an extra year covered by me on top of the warranty by the manufacturer. Okay. So you get an extra year that I throw in. This guy says, nope, we don't give you anything, only manufacturer's warranty. So that means if you have a warranty claim, this dude's going to send you back to the manufacturer. He's going to be like this. He's going to wash his hands of it. No way. It doesn't involve me. That's what's going to happen. Go to the manufacturer. That is not what dealers are there for. We are here to be a buffer in between the manufacturer and you guys. And we are supposed to handle all that shit. We are supposed to handle the returns, not the manufacturer. I don't dump off returns on my manufacturer. Some of them need to go back, but I handle all the shipping. I send my customer a shipping label. My customer isn't expected to go fill out a shipping label. I send them a completed shipping label, and then I can even have it picked up if they want it picked up. Some of them work or they leave during the day, so they'd rather drop it off. So I send them a FedEx label, they drop it off. Otherwise, if they stick around home and and it's easier for me to send a truck, I send FedEx to their front door to pick up what they want to return. Okay. Even if it's something that they just don't like, they said, well, shit, it doesn't really kick ass like you said. And that doesn't happen because I know the products that kick ass. That's all I sell. So anyways, in shopping cart items purchased but later returned, 25% restocking fee will apply. Refunds will be issued once the item is received unopened in its original box. Okay, unopened. So now they're saying if you purchase something and you don't even open it and you decide you don't want it and you send it back, you're going to get dinged 25%. Okay. But these are things, they can't be new because he said the new products are not. Basically, I think what this probably means is if you threaten with him with a chargeback, he'll stick you with a 25% restocking fee. In other words, if you don't go away and not cause trouble, that's what the first paragraph is, to get you to go away without trouble. Nope, it's not covered, non-returnable. If you don't go for that and you paid with a credit card and you said, dude, I'm going to make a chargeback, then he's going to stick you with 25%. So anyways, demo and used items are sold on as-is basis. Anything that I sell as used is still returnable. And all sales are final. There are no refunds or exchanges. Okay. So anyways, so this is, okay, so that's one thing. So you go, wow, those are crazy. Okay, we don't know who this person is. They say, let's look up their company. We go to Choice Audio, we throw it into the Google, and here we get Choice Audio. We get an address of where it is. It says home audio store, premier audio store catering to music. Okay, so it says it's a store, but I see a map. We look up the map and we get a let's zoom in on it. And that's not a store, man. That's a house. Okay. So it's not a store. It's a house, which is fine. Nothing wrong with a house. I operate out of a house, but it's not forthcoming. I say I'm Mike Powell. I operate out of a house. It's clear. So we're putting all this together. The story kind of doesn't maybe fit. And then we look, and he's got some links to where he's selling stuff. So we look on USA Audio Mart and we find his ads. These are the things that he's selling. He's selling things between $3,400 and $6,000. Okay, so we can see where his mainstay is. We can see where this guy deals in. He's a dealer that operates out of a house that deals with like $5,000 items, that has really horrible return policy that you can't return stuff. And that's it. And then you can make your decision. Okay. Now, I'm not saying don't do business with these people. I'm just saying be aware of what the policies are and beware of what you're getting into, because if you get something that you don't like, you can't return it. If you get something that, is not up to your standard or doesn't, perform to what you think, let's say like the impedance doesn't match something in your system or something is incompatible, they're going to say, go to the manufacturer. We just, and complain to them. And then the manufacturer is going to say, there's nothing wrong with our product. And you're going to get stuck in a loop. Okay. So this is just a little foray into see what time we got. Okay, we're coming up on Jason joining us. Just a little foray into how to oh, you guys didn't even see that. Okay, yeah, so I need to share. Let me see. Okay, so you guys couldn't see any of that. Share screen. So I'll share the screen. We go. This was the thing where we saw the view of the house, where we looked up the address after Googling the business. Let's see, and then let's see. Here is the let's see. Here is the classifieds that I told you about that show. Come on, let's turn in that show the things for sale on US Audio Mart. Doesn't look like it wants to join. Let me do this again. Stop screen. Present. Share screen. I forgot I had to share the screen on everything here. Let's see. Share. There we go. So there's the classifieds where I was looking, where it shows, the different products. This is how you do your diligence on somebody, find out their ads, look at their ads, look what they're selling, look what it is, look at the prices, and you'll get an idea of where this guy swims. And, and you can size them up, in other words. Okay, so I think that's enough. So that's just to give you guys a tutorial on how to do your background on sellers, find out more about them. And a lot of these guys, like for instance, there's a couple distributors out there. If you went to the show, you probably saw what's Steve's company named? Let me see. It is where are we? It is I can't find it. They're whatever. Okay, so if you get signed up with one distributor, you can have 15 brands. You don't have to go to all the 15 brands. So like, in other words, I could put on my website Audio Arrow, I could put Diptyque, I could put Perlisten, I could put what's that German AVR, I want to say. In other words, there's like 15 other brands I could put on my website if I wanted to look bigger than I am, look just like, I don't know, try and impress people or something. I could put that on my website. Once you sign up with a distributor and he approves you for one brand, you've got all the brands in his spectrum. So many people might just get one or two accounts and then have 25 brands because it's just two different distribution channels. And then he's got 25 brands and he just floods it all on the website. I saw another one the other day where somebody was like, you have to place your order and then wait 4 to 6 weeks to get your item. That means he's not stocking it. Okay. So there's different between a stocking person and then a lot of these guys that are just make themselves into something, put it up on the website, and they don't inventory anything. And they order it once you order it. And, it's like there's different things going on that you just need to be aware of. So I want to make you aware of that. Oh, there is Jason. Jason, I see you sitting there, buddy. So I'm going to bring Jason in. And then I will come back and go over some more of the questions and things that we have. So let's add Jason Audiophile Junkie to the stage here, man. Welcome, brother.
What's going on? Can you hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you fine, man. Good to see you.
This is actually nicer than Zoom. I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty easy.
It's my first time using that feature. I'm glad you taught me that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. So welcome to the show, man. Good to have you. And for the people that are watching right now, Audiophile Junkie Jason has his own channel on YouTube. And he's really good about going to the shows, man, and checking out all the rooms. Do you still do that? Do you still go into all the rooms?
I tried to. This last show was impossible. But
Yeah, because you were doing a lot of work with Bach and so forth, right, in that room.
I actually had
Kind of
my
make.
own room for the first time ever, and I think you've done that before.
Yep.
I think that's actually kind of how I knew about you. Is I went into a room, Rocky Mountain. I think we were talking about this many years ago, just to give some people some background. It was a very good room. If I had a channel back then, I would have given it one of the best rooms at the show. It had vapor audio, and it had lampizator, and then your cables were in there. And then I think at some point Jeff Rowland had to give you guys some replacement amps because the lampizator amps did not work. Is that right?
That is correct. Yeah, Lampizator brought a 211 amp that cooked, and so we got a Jeff Rowland 625 in there, and that was actually how I found out about Rowland stuff. I mean, I knew about Jeff Rowland, but I never had experience with it. And then we put it into that rig, and it was like, dang, man, this is really good solid state. If I ever need solid state or I ever want solid state, I'm going to get Jeff Rowland. And that was
Isn't that funny though? That's a good takeaway from these shows is that when you see behind the scenes how people act, like Jeff Rowland stepping up for you guys in that room, I've seen that firsthand with other vendors. It makes a whole different impression. You ended up carrying the line, and doing business with them. And that's the same thing that I've been finding, kind of crossing that barrier too, is that when you see people behind the scenes, when it's not on camera, when there's nothing in it for them per se directly, that speaks volumes to me, the character of the people. So I'm glad you could give
for
that
sure.
testimonial on Jeff Rowland, great guy, and great
Yes.
product,
Yes.
So
Yep.
he's like a legend in the hobby, like many people, but it's really about what do they do behind the scenes,
Totally true, man. And on the flip side, you can run into some people where you're like, oh my God, I would never buy. I don't care how good his shit is. Like this
Right?
guy
I
is a
don't
jerk.
care.
Like
I do not
I
care.
would, like, yeah, no way. I want to
Luckily, I
support.
don't find too many of those people, but people
Right.
can tell from my
It's true.
coverage. There's certain rooms I avoid. I'd rather just avoid than be
Yeah,
negative.
sure.
But yeah,
Yeah.
there's some people, no matter how good it is, it's not going to be part of my focus because I think it's about focusing on the positive people. And there's
On the people.
thankfully
Yeah. The
so many.
vibration. Yeah. The
Mhm.
good vibes,
And I
Yeah.
got
And
a
Jeff
new
was,
appreciation for it after this show. It's not easy to do those shows.
no, not at all, man. And we got to pop into these rooms and set up a rig in a horrible space, and then try and do it quickly. Get it done the day before, really, and many times try and get things settled in and all that. Typically by Sunday, it's when everything sounds great.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when everybody's gone.
And nobody comes
Yeah.
on Sundays. I was doing a Zoom earlier. This is my second Zoom today. I did one
Uh-huh.
with Gary Gill and Lou of Southwest Audio Fest. I'm sure you're going to go to
Hmm.
that, right?
Yep, I'll be
That's a
there.
great show. So
Yeah, yeah. I
actually,
love
this
that venue. That venue is
oh, it's
badass,
awesome.
bro. They got it right on that one.
So actually, that's as soon as I get off with you, I'm going to finish that video, upload that. But actually, that's what we were talking about. Yeah, it's so important to know what goes behind the scenes at these shows,
Yeah.
and also just from Tampa, some anecdotal stories. There were two rooms that had broken speakers, and they had to pivot last minute. My amp arrived dead on arrival,
Oh
and
no.
it was dead on arrival. Had to be FedEx the replacement. Actually, people didn't know this. The replacement was not the one supposed to be for that desktop system. Luckily,
Yep.
I had BACCH and ORC that could correct for the wrong crossover, but it
Oh
actually
wow.
it was a 4-channel amp with a DAC and everything. So it wasn't like I could just go to VAC or somebody else and ask for a replacement amp. This was a
Sure.
purpose dedicated amp.
I
And we
got
were
you.
like, this is the one thing I don't have a backup of. So they sent me a
Yeah.
replacement, but it wasn't the right crossover. But I still was able to achieve the goal of showing people the BACCH. But yeah, these kind of things happen that are just crazy. I was
Yeah.
in the Mike
It's so
Sweck room.
typical.
He showed me at the end of the show. I never appreciated it while he was telling me, but he showed me any cord that you plugged into the outlet in his room just fell out. It
Oh yeah,
wasn't
yeah, yeah,
because of
yeah,
the
yeah.
heavy. It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
one of
yeah.
those ones you could have used a closing iron plug, normal molded cord. It just fell out,
It
and we
falls
were
right out.
constantly. We would listen to the potpourris. We know it has good bass. All of a sudden, bass was all gone, and yeah, the cord was half out.
Sagging.
And so
Yeah,
people don't realize your connections matter. And a good tip I'll tell people, that don't see my channel, that are on your channel that I'm going to share with people. The Hubble hospital grade outlets.
Oh yeah, they grab well.
Cheap, and they
Yeah.
grab like a vice.
Yeah, well, that's the thing that you, I mean, it just makes sense, right? It's hospital grade, so it means you got to plug medical equipment into it. So if it's like your ventilator is plugged into that thing, it better not come unplugged or you're gonna die, right?
Exactly.
Or your heart machine or whatever. So anything that's rated hospital grade it has extra holding capability so that the plugs don't pull out of the medical equipment. So they're great for that. Absolutely.
I mean, it's fine to have these outlets with quantum this, exotic physics that. I'm not hating on that. But if it doesn't grip well,
If they don't
I can
hold,
guarantee you're not getting the full potential of your gear.
yeah,
It's measurable.
I was in someone's room. It was TriPoint Miguel, and he actually took the duplex receptacle out of the wall. He pulled the plate off and pulled it out and just did rewiring. I was like, holy crap, dude, did you do that hot? Like you didn't even turn off the circuit, like, and he put in whatever he put in, maybe a hospital grade, and then put it all back together so that the plug wouldn't fall out, like you said. So crazy stuff that we deal with. But you end up as doing, as a show exhibitor, you end up after a while bringing everything you possibly could need in the case of emergency, right? So you bring all the extras, you bring a soldering iron, you bring tools, you bring all sorts of the shit that you hope you don't need, but when you do need it, it's clutch, extra.
The Murphy's Law, it's usually things like the outlet or a special amp, that the one thing you can't duplicate. Yeah, we had triple backups in some cases with Mike Sweck's room, but yeah, just the outlet itself was a big challenge. So I think people should appreciate when they go into these rooms how much work goes into setting them up,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then to try and do a room that looks nice. Like a great example was the AGD room with Alberto. He always is so good at making the room look beautiful, and then they have aromatherapy and like beautiful room. And then some of these rooms you walk in and they haven't done anything. And you're just like, I mean, I know that it's about the sound. It's not about the look, but, if you are going the extra mile and you're making the room look good, it's even that much more work. All the plants, all the furniture. I mean, they brought their own furniture. It was like, wow, crazy. But,
well, spoiler alert, I haven't done my wrap-up video yet. I've been sharing other people's wrap-ups in my videos so far. But yeah, I'm going to give AGD an award because, and their sound is great. It's always good. But I mean, and then I think they had your speakers this time, right?
Yep.
The ones you carry? Yeah, sounded great. But they always have a high bar sound. But one thing that I was very impressed with aesthetic-wise is he changed the chassis from that chrome to a darker color. And for me, for my personal taste, that was a huge hit because the chrome and the orange just didn't do it for me. A little bit too much.
It reflects. It reflects.
It reflects, and it was just for my taste. This hit out the ballpark. I think it's a totally different look, and I think anybody that was a little bit on the fence with that prior look, they ought to check out what he did, because for me, from an aesthetic standpoint, it almost kind of looked more like a candlelight, subtle glow than reflective, taking too much attention.
Yep. Agreed. So let's kick into the BACCH thing, because I think people are interested to find out, because they've been, asking me about it, and I haven't been able to fully answer because I didn't get a proper demo, and the only demo that I did, I think, was with version 1. And
you said it was like 4 years ago. I mean,
at least
a bit. 4 years ago was only the spatial processing. But actually, ironically, that is the one that's got all the awards to date. There wasn't really many changes. It was just this past year that he added the optimal room correction. And he's also adding the ability to play Atmos recordings, and then this desktop system you heard. So he's constantly coming out with new modules to add on to the product. But yeah, it's one of those things where it is very important. And that's why he gives people 15 days free to try it at their home. You buy it, you can return it after 15 days, no questions asked. I've been selling them for over 2 years now. I've not had one return from an audio or Dio. It's been 2 years since I had a BACCH for Mac returned. And ironic story here, I felt really bad for the guy. He lived in a very small, as you know, in New York, they're very small shoe boxes. So he
Yep.
literally, to play music, this is a true audiophile. I have no hard feelings. He had to do a return. He had to set up his system every time he wanted to listen to it, like put it away.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, his room was so
Wow.
small. And when you have the BACCH, that's when you have to set up, especially the BACCH for Mac. It's not a one box product, it's deconstructed. So setting stuff up every single time and recalibrating, it just wasn't the product for him. But that's the only returns I've had for 2 years. But it's still one of those things where it's so shocking in the difference. Very few people say they don't hear a difference. It's more about whether they like the difference or not, or they're too shocking. And it's important to understand feedback from them. Well, what is it that you're hearing that you like, don't like, or what is different? And then there are tons of settings that people can digest and get into.
Totally. I saw that interface. Things. I'm like, wow, look at that, man.
It's very complex.
It's like the Starship Enterprise. Yeah.
Well, one thing that really I think people don't realize is now that it has the optimal room correction, you can totally turn off the spatial processing. If you like crosstalk, if you like stuff in front of you, you can turn that off totally and just listen to improved frequency response for your ear pinna at your listening position. Now, I don't know anybody that's doing that, but you can. And there's also a slider. Let's say you don't like it. The word stereo, believe it or not, it goes back to 16th century. It means 3D. It was originally meant 3D. But we've just conditioned ourselves since the 50s. We had crosstalk. You can't listen in 3D. We get excited if we hear something 3 or 4 feet, but nothing around our head, behind our head, really proximity. So it's pretty shocking to a lot of people. And this technology will be in a car. So they've actually developed a slider, Edgar developed a slider to tune it back for people that might have a taste profile that don't like it like that. But mainly for in the car, there are certain songs where you might have heard it where the fly is in your ear and like Madonna on Vogue kind of whispers in your ear. These are intended, this is in the recording, but you can't have that happen when you're in a car and startle people. And so there is a slider to even make it more customizable to whatever your taste is. And then, of course, I think you were in the room when I did my presentation over at After Hours. You can bypass with a one button push. I think you were doing it with Jay.
We were doing it. I think Jay was making a video and we were clicking it on and off. I was actually the guy toggling while Jay was doing the video.
I don't think you got the seat, but he was the one listening.
Yes.
And then
you recording.
Now, not to pimp, but I mean, when have you ever seen a room give the control over to anybody in the room and just A/B on the fly? What other product allows you to A/B on the fly?
Yeah, exactly. So true.
He's not afraid. If you don't like it, that's
huge.
Fine.
No, that's huge.
I understand if people don't like it. This hobby is much like restaurants. Some people don't like sushi. Some people want ketchup on their steak. I don't begrudge anybody that says they don't like it. Don't buy it. You know. But if you don't have an informed opinion about it, I'm happy to explain. I'm happy to demo it. I'm happy to show you. If you feel like you don't have an informed opinion, but it doesn't matter. It's not every product doesn't need everybody to try it. But I just can tell you, most people that buy it, they're so in love with it after a while that they even run the rooms. Like I was having, thankfully, a lot of help.
So for the people that don't understand what we're talking about something called BACCH, BAACCH. SP.
It's actually BACCH, but
BACCH. Okay, great. And what it is it's hardware and software that goes together to create a DSP, room correction and spatial cues and EQ to optimize your listening experience. What I thought was the coolest thing about this whole deal is that you put these little in-ear headphones, right, or earphones that go inside your ear. And on the back side of those, there are microphones. And then they do frequency sweeps, okay, of coming out of your speakers, whatever speakers you're listening to. They'll do a frequency sweep left, a frequency sweep right. And everybody's ear, you'll hear Jason talk about ear pinna. He means ear shape and form. Okay. So everybody's ear is shaped differently, right? And that ear, based on the shape of your ear, it will accentuate or disengage certain frequencies. You'll have dips or peaks depending on the shape of your ear, the mass of your body, and for flexion and stuff like that from your shoulders or what have you. So this is why everybody hears different. So it listens then from your ear canal, right? And then it gives you a graph of what your ear frequency response is from your ear. And then it corrects for it. It makes it a little more linear than what it is, naturally, which was so cool to realize. Wow, that's super interesting. And then you can just see, I got to see what my ears were like, how flat they were like to begin with, right? Or did they really mess it up? And then the BACCH goes ahead and corrects for that. And it has cross talk cancellation. Is that the correct term?
Yeah, let me just clarify a few things. Number one, it does more than just crosstalk cancellation now, but that's part of the spatial cues. One of the things why stereo has not been, quote, 3D, like the word implies from the 16th century, is because of crosstalk. So if I talk to you in front of you, or you hear a sound in your room right now, the way you can localize where it is because the sound hits one of your ears faster than it hits the other. And so then it's on your left or your right or behind you. How it hits your ear and goes around your ear, your brain is a supercomputer in terms of being able to localize that instantly. Well, with stereo, though, we have a right and left channel. It's not like a sound coming from one spot. So right belongs to your right ear. That should only be heard by your right ear. That's why it's called right. Left should only be heard by your left ear. That's why it's called left. Unfortunately, when you put two speakers in a room, you have reflections, and if you sit far away or you have speakers that spray the sound around, then you're hearing a lot of the right speaker in your left ear and vice versa. And what that does is consolidate the sound stage. It makes the sound stick to the speakers. And it's more of, in most cases, people have grown to like it because it kind of seems like a stage. People are flat. It's a flat plane. But in reality, it's not stereo. It's not true stereo. It's not showing all the spatial cues that are actually in the recording. If we heard it pure right and left, you can get things here, there, if it's in the recording. That's the important thing. If it's not in the recording, it won't be behind your ears. And so mono recording, well, that'll prove it to you. If you play a mono recording with BACCH, nothing happens. That shows the difference. So again, whether you like it or dislike it or want to change the slide or whatever, that's up to you on the spatial cues. But crosstalk has been widely known. Polk tried to fix it. Carver tried to fix it. They never had what you were talking about, the ability to measure what goes into our ears and to account for ear pinna and our torso. Everything over 1,000 hertz starts getting to be impacted by our body and our ears. And that's why I've taken a free field mic with REW, Dirac, or whatever, Trinoff. Those are all great, better than nothing. But they're not, by definition, they're estimates. And they don't take into account your body. And that's why when you sat down, I think I already calibrated Cheap Audio Man. He had a different measurement than you. Both of you sat in the exact same seat, exact same gear. You both hear differently.
Yeah, yeah.
And what's real to you is different than what's real to him.
Yeah.
And so that's what's important, is that now your stereo can be more tailored to you, and stuff over 1,000 hertz isn't arbitrarily moved to a flat basis that is not natural to you. It basically, after 1,000 hertz, it doesn't do a whole lot. And that's why you'll see preserved everything over 1,000 hertz for the most part. But everything under 1,000 hertz is not impacted by that. And that should be flat if you want to get accurate reproduction. So that kind of clarifies, hopefully, a little bit more for people.
Yeah, for sure. And to sort of describe to people what the experience is like for listening, if you're trying to imagine, it was what it was like to me is, you've got headphones and then you've got stereo, listening to your normal stereo. And when I listened to the BACCH, it was like something in between. It was like it brought it closer to a headphone experience. It wasn't full tilt headphones, but it was definitely doing shit like headphones would do, where I was hearing things coming in. As a matter of fact, the first demo that you did was a woman singing, and it was in the center of my freaking head, man. I was like, what the hell? Like, I wasn't hearing it from here. I was hearing it almost in the center of my head. It was like it was inside my cranium. I was hearing the inside of my skull cavity. It was the weirdest sensation, man. I'm like, how the hell am I hearing something in the middle of my head? But I was. And then he went and threw in a classic Grantchester Meadows from Floyd, early Floyd psychedelic stuff. And I was like, oh, this is great. There was like tweeting and birdies and stuff. And it was just full tilt psychedelic. Like, I was like, this is crazy. This is so fun and cool. And then there was another track with a motor scooter going by or something. It must have been like India or something like that, you know, like bus horns and shit like that. And you were hearing motor cars and things going past through your head, you know. I'm sure Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon with the guy walking through the head's got to be nuts.
Yeah, I mean, there's some recordings that'll have those, and I obviously showcase those to show the potential. But there's a lot of recordings where it's very subtle, and you won't hear a whole lot different. A lot of female vocals are mono, a lot of bass is mono. So in those, when you do an A/B switch, the spatial cues won't be big, but the frequency response will still be big. And I think I did it when you and Jay were in the room. We did the pink noise, A and B, and where you could hear the difference of the frequency
totally.
response.
Yeah.
That was something I hope almost anybody's great grandma, if they're still alive, could even hear. It wasn't something that it's not. And what I try to tell people is that, again, whether you like it or don't like it, it's totally up to you, no problems. But this, for a lot of people, what people are realizing is that video files have always had it on us, because they could say 4K beats the old LCD TVs like that. And then everybody rushes out to Best Buy. It was clear as day what the difference was. At least we have a product now in the audio that's clear as day. It doesn't take an audiophile to hear a fuse difference, you know, a power cord difference, which I'm not arguing that those don't make a difference, but it's not to that level of so neurotic.
Accurate for your personal experience. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you don't have the excuse of, oh, you don't have the resolving enough system for it. No, anybody that gets the mic will hear the difference if it's a spatial cues there. And so it gives us now some competition to the video files that, you know, there is something now that will attract non-audiophiles. And one of the best endorsements I ever got was a guy that introduced me to the BACCH before me. His wife asked him to put sticky notes on his audio system because she wanted to listen to it when he was at work now.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never had that product ever do that, make the wife want to listen. And I've done it with my daughter and her boyfriend, and they kind of get it now. They don't really get when I do videos on power cords or cables. They think I'm an idiot, but they now get what that sounds like. So it's a crossover product, and, you know, he's building on it every day. But yeah, I just encourage people to try it if they want. And I'm going to shows more and more, so people don't even have to take the risk of the 15-day trial, but you have that.
Just go, listen to it and check it out. Definitely was fun, you know, and so the people know there's two different products. And what are the two price points? One is the Apple, that's, if I'm not mistaken, what, 25K?
No. So there's actually many products.
No, that's a cheap one. The Apple's the inexpensive one.
So there is several products. He's a Princeton professor. So what he always says is, I don't want to offer something that I can't at least get my students into. Now, a Princeton student pays a lot of money, so they usually get a good job. But he can start you as cheap as $900 for a plug-in that goes on an Apple that just gives you the spatial cues. Now, you're not going to get the hardware for the mics. Those mics are actually very expensive but you can put in distances between your speakers and to the listening position. It'll assume a normal room and give you somewhat, for $900, at least give you something.
But actually, it doesn't correct for the ear pinna?
It doesn't correct for the ear pinna. It doesn't correct for you. It just estimates what the crosstalk is in your room. Gives you a flavor. Actually, what you can do is you can send me a WAV file and give me your room dimensions that I just mentioned, and I can re-record it with the BACCH filter. And that's how I originally was selling this to people, because I didn't have a show or anything. I was just saying, send me a WAV file, a CD. I'll send it back to you with a basic filter.
Treated.
If you can hear the difference of your favorite song, then you're probably good enough to want to buy it. And that's how I was originally selling it. So that's at $900. And then if you want to get the mics and the calibrated, there's a deconstructed product called the BACCH for Mac. And you'll get an RME Babyface, you'll get a Mac Mini, and it allows people to get in at a cheaper price point. Starting with the normal options, almost every invoice is around $7K. But you could save money if you've already got a Mac and whatnot. And then the true audiophile products, one with a DAC, one without a DAC, is the DO and the audio. And those are roughly in the 25 to 29K with the options that most people select, because there are quite a few options. And that's a full billet aluminum chassis, no seam showing. It's a very high-end chassis. And it's got more inputs and outputs, a linear power supply, a proprietary DAC. So those are things that Audiophile.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Does that all in one, the $25,000 piece that's its own box, does that have an Apple computer inside it?
Yeah, well, it's basically a computer inside it, and like most DACs are FGPA.
Is it Apple or
yeah,
is it
it's
PC?
all Apple based. It's all
It's
Apple
Okay,
based software. So it's basically instead of FGPA based, this is actually a computer, because this requires a lot of processing power and a lot of memory that just isn't done with normal DACs with FGPA.
Sure.
This is actually requiring a full-fledged computer processing internally. And then it's got a linear power supply and a 6-channel DAC. So the audio and DO and even the BACCH for Mac, you can use it for an active crossover. And so for subs, so many people don't have enough preamp outputs, and they never get the full value of their subs, because the subs will run in addition to their mains, but they're never able to roll off their mains and let their amps breathe easier and their mains breathe easier. If you can make the two synergize and you can take that load off of your mains, all of a sudden you've improved your amp that doesn't have to stress as much, and your drivers aren't creating as much distortion. You let the sub do what it does. And so it comes with a 6-channel DAC. You can actively amplify your speakers, cross over your speakers, and also integrate subs.
That's
cool. But those are advanced options that are available. He kind of thinks of everything. So in theory, you can replace your DAC streamer preamp crossover with that product for $29K.
Got you. Okay, got you. And then you just need amps and speakers.
Yeah, and a lot of times he brings active speakers, so it's literally the box, the BACCH, and the speakers.
Yeah.
And
cool.
that's all there is.
Cool, man. So let's open this up to some calls if people want to call in, if that's all right with you, Jason. Here's the number. If anybody wants to call in, I know DeHardy probably wants to call in. So anybody else wants to call in, we can patch you guys in, and you can ask Jason any questions or ask Mikey any questions, whatever. This is the phone number that you can call in. And
any other show stuff? I just got a text today that the show for Tampa was 18% growth from the organizer.
Versus what?
Last year? 40% over the last 2 years they've grown.
That's interesting. Yeah, interesting. Cool. That's good.
Good sign for the industry. I mean,
for sure. For sure.
And they did a lot. I know I did a lot of pre-show stuff coverage, and I think they did some good, even though they moved further out from the city. I think it worked really well.
Yes. Yeah, it was definitely a better venue for sure. I think they could, improve some things. I think they should improve the food, quite honestly, man. I mean, it's like picnic food for high-end audio. Come on, let's step it up a little. At least get some caterers, or at least tell the hotel. If the hotel wants to take food and beverage, fine, but tell them it's got to be a higher level because of the client base. We're not going to care about paying a little bit more, but just give us something a little better.
So you're talking about during the day for lunch and stuff.
During the day for lunch, we had one choice there, and then there wasn't really anything close by. So the infrastructure was a little bit lacking in terms of choices for food. So we had one choice, which was those hot dogs or hamburgers, and it's like picnic kind of style, paper plate. But the burgers were kind of dry. Whatever. It was no big deal. But maybe some of us we like to go to these things because we're foodie weirdos, right? So we like to, in Florida, it's like, they did do Cuban sandwiches, which was good, because that's definitely one thing that when I go to Florida, I'm all over getting Cuban food,
We did find a good barbecue place, believe it or not. A guy from Texas. We went there 3 times. And then the casino. I don't know if you went to the casino, the Hard Rock.
No.
That was more crowded than any Vegas casino, even during CES. I just came back from Vegas during CES. I have never seen so many people at a casino on a Thursday night.
Wow. That's crazy, man. I had no idea about it. Okay, so here we go. We got Steve DeHardy calling in. Let's take his call.
From Steve DeHardy.
Okay, let me pull up my...
To accept, Press 1.
Press 1, and then let me pull this up. Okay, let's see. Hey, Steve, hold on a second, buddy. I'm going to have to turn you up. Let's see here. Whoop. Let me see here. Got somebody else calling in. Let's see. Okay. I don't have my little, here we go.
We didn't even talk about the potpourris, but I know Jay was talking about it was a good find. He seemed very impressed with them.
Yeah.
I know you've been an open baffle guy.
Yeah, I came in. I liked it. Yeah, I have. I mean, I love panels. It was, I felt it was good, man. I went in there. I liked it. You know, people, it seemed like there was mixed kind of feedback on it, but when I went in there, I liked it, man. It sounded good. Okay, Steve, go ahead, buddy. Are you there?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. Let me
Can you hear me?
There now. Yep. Certainly can.
Right.
I just had to turn you up a little
Hi,
bit.
Jason.
Hey.
Hey, sorry to screw your name, your tune presentation up with my getting the tunes too quick that night.
Oh yeah, we did name that tune for After Hours. Were you in there for that, Mike?
I was not.
Okay, yeah. So that was kind of an idea I always had. Name that tune, and we did like some were the stereotypical audio ones. I wanted to see how quick people would recognize Keith Don't Go and Tin Pan Alley. Which one did you screw up?
No, I actually kept giving the answer right away, and you guys wanted to throw me out because I couldn't take all the prizes.
Oh, you tried to answer after you had won.
You got everyone.
Yeah, I won the first one, and then I was raising my hand on the second one.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I didn't say the answer.
All the gifts.
Yeah, I didn't want to take all the gifts anyway. I only wanted one, but I got a nice lighter though. Thank you. Cool. So I guess the main thing that I have a question about is I'm a little bit worried about something like this perpetuating the old lonely guy in his room type of thing, not sharing this with a loved one or your family, because you're basically dialing the system in for one person, one position, even his ears. And one thing that I find kind of ironic about that is, like, if you go to a concert, we all go to a acoustic concert or something like that. We all have our ears. No one's adjusting our ears to hear the instruments. The instruments put out all the same tones that they normally put out and all their harmonics, and we all hear them in our own way. So I'm just kind of that kind of bugs me. So what would your answer be to that?
Well, first of all, when you sit off axis, and I guess Mikey sat off axis to Jay, who was calibrated, it's not like sitting off axis on any other system. There's a sweet spot and there's not a sweet spot. It's just the sweet spot now is a super sweet spot tailored to you. And then you can save your bin and somebody else can save their bin. And then when you sit in that seat, it's calibrated to you, you change it to your bin. So you will always have whoever's in that seat, a super sweet spot. And we didn't even talk about, because we weren't using at the show, it could even be better because we weren't using head tracking. There's a camera that literally will track you, and you can have some movement. And then also behind you, I would agree that off axis to the sides, you start getting depreciating value from the BACCH filter, just from the spatial cues. Now you still get the benefit from the frequency response as you go off axis, but behind you, people were getting 70, 80% of those same spatial cues behind you. Now, in terms of a live concert, it's exactly what I was just talking about earlier. If I talk to Mikey face to face from his left or his right, just like a music playing, somebody playing an instrument from the left to his right, he will know where that instrument is coming from because the sound was in his left ear before his right ear. And what stereo does, it doesn't do sound like a concert. Stereo doesn't do sound. Stereo puts channel information right and left. It doesn't play it like in a concert.
I understand completely what stereo does. I understand completely what stereo does. You're talking to somebody that believes I'm with you on that. I understand that. So, yeah.
Well, that's why but that question, it assumes that you don't, because right means it has to go to your right ear with stereo, not like a concert. A concert, when you're standing in front of the instrument, there's not a right and left channel.
I understand all about how our I understand how our mind and brain and our ear complex locates things in nature. I understand completely. I understand that also that we hear from the left speaker with our right ear, and it's delayed by the 6 inches of longer distance. I understand completely. I've been playing with crosstalk cancellation for 40 years. I understand completely how it works. So I guess but again, it's like you could just put headphones on and you have crosstalk cancellation. You have no crosstalk because you have headphones on.
It's not the same. You have no crosstalk cancellation, but you have a different problem. And actually, I'm going to demo this at Southwest. We will put headphones on people because he's got the reverse product. Headphones don't have crosstalk, but it puts everything in your ears. And then what the main problem with headphones is that if I move my head to the left or the right, our brain immediately tells us what we're listening to is fake. The reason why it tells us it's fake, because if I have headphones on and I move, guess what? The whole thing moves as well. And that tells us it's fake.
As well. Yeah.
And so what I will demo, and if you want to come down to that show, what will happen is he's got head tracking for headphones, and you will be able to move your heads wearing headphones, and it will sound like the speakers in front of you.
Cool.
And
I'd like
I've got
to hear
people
that.
in my group that have this module.
That sounds cool.
You've got to come do it. I was going to do it at the show. My headphones that I brought just didn't have a cable long enough to get to the sweet spot, or I would have done it. But I'm going to plan in advance and bring an extension cord. It is an amazing module. And in some cases, people have stopped listening to their main speakers because one of the problems a lot of people have that don't have a dedicated room or a wife acceptance issue is they can't crank it late at night. But they want to feel like they're listening to something in front of them and they don't like the headphone experience. So you put these headphones on and it feels like you're listening to your system. Actually, I can send a bin of what it sounds like in my room, calibrated in my room, bring that to the show, put on the headphones, and it will approximate what it's like to be in my room. Nothing's 100%, but it's really cool to get that flavor of your room in headphones and it's in front of you. But those are all good questions. Those are all things that he addresses in his FAQs on his website. And then I hope to do his demo, a Zoom with him in the near future, where I open it up to anybody calling in and wants to talk. Because there's always people that it's a controversial product. I mean, it's something that's never been done before, but it took decades and 3 labs of Princeton. I mean, this guy does not, I'll tell you guys a really—
He's not a DIYer.
Look, this is the funny thing.
He is.
I understand
how extraordinaire.
Yeah. I got to tell you guys this story. I told you how my amp that he sent me was broken. Well, when I called him and told him it was broken, he couldn't believe it because he's like, it was just working. I sent it overnight. I said, Edgar, I tried it in an outlet, a separate outlet, and I also tried it in the duplex where everything else is working. See, he told me, Jason, that doesn't guarantee it's not working. I said, I said, Edgar, I tried it in a separate outlet. I tried it in a duplex where the other thing is right. He's like, no, that's not 100%. I'm a scientist. It has to be 100%. Try it in the outlet that you know is working. So I had to unplug something, plug it in. Sure enough, it didn't work. But that's the level of when you're talking about a Princeton professor who has to defend anything he does, he has to do that. So he's welcome to any criticism and any kind of questions. You know, if people have a genuine interest in it, he's happy to answer those questions.
How would you answer the question? And I'm sort of in this camp too, because I've played with DRAC and room correction and DSP, for probably close to 12 years now. And I do find that DSP, especially from about 200 hertz up, tends to take the life out of the music. I mean, I definitely think that it affects some of the liveliness and the dynamics or the dynamic contrast and imaging contrast in my system. So, and I think a lot of people feel that way with DSP as well.
Okay, well, I can actually, we actually talked about this.
Now you're offering up. What's that?
We actually talked about this. I don't know if you were in the room, Mikey, at the time, but I was showing the measurements before and after BACCH. And actually, that's a common reaction to DSP in general. Now, some of it is warranted because other types of software like DRAC and all that does not account for your ear pinna. It tries to overcorrect. to something in high frequencies over 200 hertz that is not natural to you. That's part of the equation, granted. But one of the things that the dynamic contrast thing, what you're hearing and what something like the BACCH fixes is comb filtering. And I'm sure you know what comb filtering is, but a lot of the viewers probably don't. If you take measurements before BACCH, you will probably see frequency response anomalies like this. And guess what? That means a peak, dip, peak, dip, peak, dip, peak, dip. Well, guess what that sounds like to our ears? Dynamic contrast. And if you get rid of that,
sure,
the knee-jerk reaction is to say, oh, it took away the life of the music. But in reality, and I don't begrudge people, if you like this, it's just like ketchup on your steak. I don't care. You like it, you like it. But usually the people that like that, they end up listening to 4 or 5 songs on their system, and they can't listen for very long. And they only want to demo a few songs because only a few songs will tolerate that kind of dynamic contrast, and people like it. And then when they play something else, they find out, ooh, that's a little strong. That's not. If you've got a flat response over the long haul and over more recordings, it will sound more natural. But again, people like comb filtering. Go ahead, knock yourself out. I just don't.
Well. So what if? I mean, there's plenty of speakers out there that have comb filtering as a result of their design, and they, just because their drivers aren't in. Well, I don't think you can fix comb filtering if it's a null, without. I mean, you can boost that frequency, but that would certainly. I don't know.
I can show you real time. Yeah. I can show you before and after. It can actually. Now you do lose a little bit of dynamic range if you have a big null, but it can. People have this preconceived notion you can't boost your way out of a null, and that's what I always thought as well until I saw it firsthand happen. And the other thing that these nulls are created by are timing differences. We had a setup in the BACCH room. We had a big null uncorrected between 100 and 200 hertz, and we were running subs with the WR3. Now we could have let DSP just boost a lot to get it out of there, but we would lose dynamic range, and you don't want DSP to do a lot of boosting. So I think you're on the right track. But what we found by looking at the impulse response is that the subs and the mains were not perfectly time aligned. By eye, they looked like they were exactly distant from the listening position. They were 1 millisecond off from the impulse response. 1 millisecond. We delayed the mains by 1 millisecond. That dip went away. And so that was a translation that's audible, measurable, 1 millisecond. And so
if you have a null that's caused by a phase problem and you can adjust the phase on something, yes. But I'm talking about like if you have a null that's up in the, let's say, the 1,000 hertz range, and it's in the middle of like a crossover between 2 drivers, and you have no active control over them, that could be a problem with DSP.
Well, that's a poorly designed speaker, but it could be fixed with the BACCH.
There are poorly designed speakers. Yes, there's lots of poorly designed speakers.
I think.
You should still buy a good speaker if you can, and let BACCH do the least amount. We have fixed. People have had speakers out of phase, and it's fixed that. People in my membership group share their before and after, and sometimes it's so bad before and after. We like, wait, it can't possibly be that. Oh wait, I had the left-right mismatched. It actually tried to fix it for you. So a speaker that has a null at 1,000 hertz, it's going to like laugh at that to fix it. Now, should you get a better speaker? Yes.
Yep. Agreed.
I imagine a speaker that requires less correction would be even more responsive to some of these effects that it's capable of.
Bring me the worst speaker you can find. Bring it down to Dallas, and I'll hook it up. And let's look at the before and after.
Okay. All right.
The worst one you can find. In fact, Danny Ritchie lives by. Maybe he can bring one of those ones that he has to fix with crossover parts and solder. Let's have a shootout. He uses crossover parts and solder. I'll use the BACCH.
There you go.
We're starting stuff right now. I love Danny. I mean, I have his speakers. He does a great job. But yeah, let's go ahead and see at the listening position which one is better. solder and parts, BACCH, take the same bad speaker. Let's do it.
Yeah, that sounds
Challenge
fun.
is on your show. You're getting this exclusive. I just came up with it because you brought it up. Challenge is out there. Danny, bring a bad speaker that you fixed.
Here it is.
And I'm gonna bring the BACCH. Let's have the before and after. Let's see.
We could do it. We could do it at the Southwest Audio Show, brother.
Southwest Audio Show. We'll do it after hours, before
I'll make
hours.
the vid.
I'll make time.
Yeah. We'll get Danny. You contact Danny. I don't think Danny likes me too much.
How did you get sideways with Danny? What did you do?
One thing I have to say about that, the BACCH can't fix if it's got crappy parts in it that are causing problems too. I mean, it can't. It could compensate for it, but if you got bad capacitors that are causing time smearing and stuff like that, I don't know how the BACCH could fix that.
No, I mean, you obviously want the best quality products. I mean, people that have a potpourri versus a Magnapan are going to hear a difference. And there's also still interactions with the room. These speakers have lots of things that are still going to make it independent of certain things. But yeah, we haven't gotten to the point where every speaker can sound identical.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds fun.
Okay.
Steve, are you coming to Southwest?
I might.
You should, buddy.
I'm working like a dog, man. I have to try to make time.
Right on, man.
So,
Steve's growing his business.
All right.
Yeah.
Gotta grow my business.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. I only play audiophile on the weekend.
Yeah. There you go.
So what did you win again? You won the lighter in the competition?
I won a lighter. Yeah, it was. I didn't even realize it was a lighter. I love it. I smoked a cigar with it.
No, that's cool, dude. You got a good thing. I won a freaking hand warmer, and then I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, what the hell do you use a hand warmer for? And then I looked at the instructions, and it said, if this hand warmer leaks goo out of it, immediately go to the hospital. I was like, there's wash your hands immediately and go to the nearest hospital. I was like, fuck this. I left it in the hotel room, dude. I was like, I'm not taking this thing with me. It's gonna kill me.
I'll give Anka grief. I didn't even know. I know that it was chocolates. I think Jay won chocolates.
Jay got chocolates.
And so Steve got a lighter, and you got
a hand warmer. It was a
dangerous hand warmer.
Yeah, dangerous meltdown liability.
Oh, it's a piezo lighter too that I can use in high winds. It's beautiful.
Cool. There you go, cigar lighter.
Well, I will save those next time for the tougher songs.
Yeah, there you go, man. Do you smoke cigars, Jason?
No, not a cigar guy.
Yep, cool.
How about you?
We went. Yeah, I like to smoke stogies. I don't smoke them that often, but I do definitely enjoy them when I do. So I have a collection down there of Cubans and all sorts of different things. And when we were there at the show, we I'm gonna admit something. On Friday, Sunday, it was so slow that we took off. We bailed the show and went down to Ybor City.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and went and had some lunch, and then we left at 11:30 and came back at 3:30, and just in time for close. But I mean, I was able to do that because I wasn't running the room. Alberto was, so that freed us up, and we'd already seen everything we needed to see, and it was like there was nothing more to do really on Sunday, so we just went down there and checked it out and then came back.
You should come to Houston sometime because the local dealer here, 3MA, is the only dealership I know. They built a separate room for smoking cigars. It's got the ventilation, and so you don't come out smelling like cigars. And it's in their dealership, and they've got fine. I don't know if you're a whiskey drinker, you want Louis, you want anything. It is ridiculous what they carry in there.
The whiskey thing
you would love to. You'd love to smoke a cigar with them down there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Someday I'll get over that way. How far is it from Dallas?
About 4 hours. Yeah.
In a
plane.
Well,
you could come. A lot of people are coming to my place first, and then we're gonna go up together. We might even stop at Fredericksburg on the way up.
You gonna rent a fur bus?
That would be cool, huh? Like a VIP bus or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you, but I'm building like an Airbnb in Fredericksburg that's going to be like an audiophile Airbnb. So like people can rent it.
We're doing that here. We're doing that here in Atlanta.
I want to be your first tenant.
Okay. Yeah.
Shane, I see Shane calling here. Shane Let that thing ring, and we'll call him back after Steve hangs up.
Yeah. So.
Well, yeah, I could go. Actually, my girlfriend's wanted to know if I made it to Chicago safely, so I probably should call her.
You probably should let her know that you're safe.
Yeah.
All right, my brother.
But yeah, I appreciate the time. Thank you, Jason. You're a gentleman. I always enjoy seeing you at the Florida show, and and I don't mean to be an antagonist. I hope you don't think I come across that way.
No, you do, but it's okay. It's okay.
There's always one or two. Yeah.
When you're on YouTube, you got like all kinds of people. You're the least amount of my worries.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Right
Jason.
on, man.
All right. See you later.
Thanks, Mikey.
Cool.
Have a good
See
night.
ya.
All right. Bye-bye.
Good night. Okay, so let's call Shane. Let's see if I can get him. Oh, let's see. You can't. Oh yeah, now I should be able to. Because Shane just called in. Can you hear that ringing?
Yeah, I hear it ringing.
Yeah, can you hear a phone ringing? No. He'll be on in a second.
How long do you do these things normally?
I don't know. Usually I don't usually. I just stop them whenever. I mean, we can wrap it up. Shane, you there?
I'm there. G'day.
There he is.
Jason.
G'day.
Hello.
Can you hear that, Jason?
Yeah, I hear a little bit. Yeah.
You can hear Shane?
I
Go
heard
ahead,
hello. Shane. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I'd better call in. I'm still waiting for this buck for Mac, mate.
You're getting your balls busted.
Well, you might be waiting a little bit longer because everybody came up to me at the show and said that you came on Mikey's show and said you weren't going to be getting it. And I had literally sent you a text within 24 hours before that telling you I was going to send it to you after Tampa. And so I was like, wait, what? Y'all are telling me what?
Well, okay. The last message I got from you that I saw from you was that you were going to be sending me that, well, we've been talking about this since early January. The first promise was around the 20th of January when you got some microphones for it. Then you updated me rightly and said that it would take another week or so because you were demoing it. Then you said you would be sending it to me before the show in Florida. And that's the last I'd heard from you.
No, I told you I was going to be sending it after the show. And then you said that you were kind of waiting for it and you've been waiting. I said, well, I'll try to get it to you before the show, but I ended up leaving a day early. But also I told you that I would do content. I said I offered you a Zoom before the show if you needed content before. And you said you would get back to me. That's the last text. So, I mean, I think basically, Shay, I think you should just do the video with what you've got. That's over a year ago. And if you feel like you have an informed opinion, go ahead and do the content. I'm really not interested at this point. I'm not interested at this point.
I had the ADO in the room, Jason, in June and July.
Okay, let's not bust balls here and do all this now.
Well, no, but if we're gonna be factually accurate, then let's be factually accurate, because I'll back all this up with emails from Edgar, with correspondence that I have from you, Jason. I can back everything that I have said up with printed facts, right? So I had the ADO in my room in June, July, around June, July of last year, not a year ago, 6 months ago. I recorded a lot of footage that I've still been sitting on. I've been sitting on it because you promised me you were going to send me this unit so that I could hear this unit.
No. Let's wait a second. Wait, whoa. Wait 1 second. When you had this, do you want to tell everybody how you got this unit?
What difference does it make, Jason?
Oh, no, we don't want to talk about it. Okay. What difference does it make? Why don't you let everybody decide for themselves? Why don't you let everybody decide?
People's confidences.
Okay.
I am not going to betray people's confidences because, I'm an ethical person. And I've given people my word that the person who I got this off, right, did not want the dealership any longer in Australia for BACCH because he didn't believe in it. That's the truth. Okay,
That's
I'm
not
not
the
going to
truth.
name the dealer.
Okay, let's go ahead and get the truth out here, because what happened was I got a call from Shane, like literally, this had nothing to do with me. This unit arrived in Australia, unbeknownst to me. Edgar said somebody in Australia wanted to be a dealer for BACCH. And in order to be a dealer, you have to buy a demo unit and you have to keep that demo unit, but you get it at a significant discount because you have to not sell it. You cannot sell it. And so he gives you a discount. Well, this dealer, what he did was pretend to want to be a dealer to get that unit at a severe discount. And then he got it at a severe discount and he sold it to a guy totally in a different continent who's in my group. He has the unit that Shane got. He's a user. He owns it. He kept it. He likes it. He's in the group now. He let Shane, I don't know what Shane's relationship with this dealer is, whatever, but he let Shane use it for a few weeks before he would to send it to him. And so I got a call out of the blue from Shane, a text out of the blue. Hey, I don't know how to hook this up. I'm trying to hook it up myself. Well, you can't hook up the BACCH by yourself. Edgar has to set it up for you. But he has to, if that takes 2 hours and hours of time, and it's only dedicated for an actual user, an actual person who purchased it. You didn't purchase it. And he was on vacation in France at the time, in the mountains of France. When you contacted me, I was like, what is this all about? You can't set it up on your own. I can try to get Edgar to help you, but he's in France. He can't give you a full demo. He's not in front of his lab. I did you a favor by by telling him, look, can you help this guy out? He's a friend of mine. He wants to do a review on it, may even want to be a dealer, because at that time you were talking about that. I said, can you help him out, set it up? He said, I'll do it. He called you and he set it up for you. And then after that, you started doing other measurements after the fact. You didn't use a lot of the features, and you called me after you'd already packaged it up and said, I didn't hear the spatial cues, or I didn't like what I was hearing. I said, well, can you send me the measurements and we can see maybe the mics weren't in your ear the right, whatever settings. And you said, well, it's already packaged up. I can't see the measurements. And so you told us at that time, the reason you held the review is you said, oh, I would never do a review based on this primitive information. I need to get more time with it. And what Edgar suggested, we never told you not to say anything. We said you could do whatever you want. But we said what you should do is get a BACCH for Mac, since the audio is, past your price point. Get a BACCH for Mac. You get 15 days free, but you probably buy it and like it, and then you can try it. And Edgar can spend all that time with you, and you get 15 days to play with it. And you can get in my group and all that stuff. What happened was from June to whenever, you never bought it. And then you put out that video, and then everybody's telling me, hey, Shane's put out this video, talking about the BACCH. And I sent you a text. I said, did you ever get the BACCH for Mac? And you said, no, it's not feasible for me to buy everything. I can only do, loaners. Okay, fair enough. And so we talked again, and you said, yes, I'd like to get a little more thorough experience. And so I said, well, if you're genuine about that, I will loan you mine. But every other reviewer, from Tom Martin, Andrew Quinn, everybody has bought the unit and they've decided to keep it. Everybody gets treated the same. And it's really unfair to Edgar to have to do this now a second time, set it up, but he was willing to do it. But if you're going to sit here and act entitled after I've been the one proactively telling you, I'm waiting for the mics. It's going to be an extra week. I'll send you the thing after the show. But then you come on Mikey's show, what I heard several people come up to me at the show and say, yeah, he's selling you out. He's saying that you're not going to get the unit. And I'm like, here's my text. It's right here. It says, I'm sending you the unit when I was going to send it. And then you telling Mikey,
I'm going to give you all the time in the world, Jason, to hang yourself before I then go through and tidy all of this up.
I'll go ahead and get the text up. Go ahead.
Okay. Can I now speak?
I'm dying over here.
I mean, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy.
Sorry, Jason, but And sorry, Mikey.
Why
but
didn't you just do the review when you had it?
My reputation destroyed by half of this stuff that's just not accurate.
I don't think it would be destroyed, Shane. I don't know.
No, I just don't appreciate. I don't appreciate lies being told. I don't appreciate over exaggerations being made, mate. Jason, you messaged me under this AJ pseudonym, which I didn't know who you were at the start.
This is what's crazy.
Okay, yes,
it's AJ on
sure,
WhatsApp.
sure, mate, but it's.
I've had it forever. You exchanged text with me before.
Fuck. Mate, you're. Anyway, all right, okay. So
how did you not know it was me? Because we were talking about the BACCH. Who did you think it was?
Who did I think it was? I saw AJ and a picture of a Japanese caricature. Who do you know? I have God knows how many people contact me on a day-to-day basis.
Well, obviously you don't know the gorillas because it's a gorilla's icon. It's a gorilla's character. It's AJ. You had contact with me on the exact same number in June.
Yeah. This is a guy, everybody, that deletes everything. What is it, 2 weeks after you send it, Jason, too? So I screenshotted everything this time so that I actually had proof of our communication.
There's nothing deleted. There's nothing.
No, there wasn't anything deleted. But you
just said there was something deleted.
I don't want to get into this. This is not why.
This is ridiculous.
This is not why I rang. Why I rang is simply because this has been kicked down the road, constantly kicked down the road. I want to review this unit.
And review what you have.
Engineer, right? I have got recordings.
I'm not dealing with you anymore. See, this is one thing that I had.
You're not dealing with me anymore. All right. Well, everybody's hearing this.
No, I'm not dealing with you anymore.
I'm just trying to get a unit to review. I'm not going to buy everything. Every single person.
I'm not dealing with you anymore. I had you on my channel.
Every single person that has reviewed that unit, Jason, owns it. So how is that a review? That is a paid advertisement. Nobody is going to talk down.
The whole point of reviews is for somebody to know if they want to buy it. If somebody actually spends their money on something.
That is my point.
I guess all of your customers can't review your product.
How are we going to get anything neutral from anybody? How are we going to get anything balanced from anybody if everybody who is reviewing this, all the print media, all the stuff on YouTube,
you can talk about this all you want. That's your philosophy.
This unit.
Your philosophy is not aligned with Edgar and mine. If you want to review it now, you have to buy it. You can buy it.
I wouldn't waste my money buying it because I've already had one in here and it made no difference to my hi-fi system. All I ever see this system
say that in the review. Then just go ahead, put it out.
I don't see it in anything that's actually true hi-fi.
Then that's what you should put out. You should have done it when you had the unit.
I will be doing it. I'll be putting the second video together of my review of this unit very, very shortly now.
But what did you tell me on the phone, though?
Did you video on it as well?
What did you tell me on the phone? You said it wasn't going to be a negative review, this, that, and the other.
When did I say that? No, just remind me of when I said that, please.
You said it wasn't going to be a great review, but it wasn't going to be a negative review. And you said,
it was going to be balanced. I was going to talk because I'm a balanced journalist. I'm actually going to give a balanced review.
100% authorization. Be as negative as you want.
I actually get a word in without you running over the top of me. You want to see this guy's text messages to me, mate? They're war and peace. They go on forever.
Okay,
like I just want to get a word in edgeways. I can't speak. The guy just runs over the top top
because I know now, because I got, thankfully, a lot of your viewers, thankfully, Mikey, a lot of your viewers watched and told me stuff that I didn't know about. Stuff I'm glad they told me. I want to thank some of your viewers for telling me.
What do you want to know about, Jason? Because I'll tell you the truth. What do you want to know?
Well, did you go on Mikey's show and imply that I told you weren't going to get the unit?
No. I said I was waiting for the unit.
You said you weren't, you were questioning whether you're ever going to get it.
But I had not received it yet.
Okay, this is,
that's
I'm not dealing with a guy like this. Is shady. I'm not dealing with a guy like this. Sorry.
Back me in, Mikey, because you heard what I said about this.
Yeah, let's go.
I said I was
run the
waiting
tape.
for it. It had
Run the
not
tape.
arrived yet.
Play the tape.
Yeah. I don't even remember. I think you said you weren't sure that you were going to get it. You know, like you were waiting for it.
And I had literally within 24 hours before that show, I had sent him a text.
Okay. So we're talking in circles, and now it's just an argument, and I don't think it's fair to the viewers to just sit and argue. I don't think it's fair either.
I mean, if you're going to call in and say, "Where's your audio?" That's a loaner. I mean, where's your BACCH from Mac? That's a loaner. That was a favor. That's what you called in. That was your first question.
Me on that you said you would send to me on the 20th of January after we spoke earlier in the month. And it's just been, now we're into March and I still don't have it to be able to review it. I'm not going to buy something, mate, because if I buy it, then I can't review it. Then I'm giving my thoughts about something I own and I don't want to buy it.
Every text message since that point, Shane, was me updating you on every reason why I was waiting for microphone. If I have to loan you something out of my own pocket, a $9,000 piece, I'm going to loan you, and I can't do demos for people that are paying customers, I need to have backup. And I told you it was take to the 20th. Let me make sure it's clear, because evidently you forgot. I told you it would be the 20th of January when Edgar would have extra mics to send to me. It got delayed, and I sent you a text message. I was proactive. You didn't have to ask me at all. I said, it's getting delayed. It's going to be a little bit closer to February. And then I told you on my own, I told you, hey, it looks like I'm going to be able to give you the unit right after Tampa. And then that's when you went on the show and implied, without even referencing any text message I sent you updated, you totally excluded that. And that's what everybody told me. Okay. I have members. I have everybody.
I'll screenshot your communication, which I have screenshotted, and I'll post it up on my channel.
Post it right here.
So everybody can actually read what you said to me.
Okay.
Shall I do that,
so
Jason?
You guys, I'd like to end this because I just don't think it's being productive right now, and I'm feeling bad inside because two guys that I like are arguing, and it's just it's making me.
Here's the deal. I'm okay.
It's giving me agita. I'm getting agita over here.
There's no reason to go ahead and do whatever content I know you need the content.
No, I don't, mate. I actually don't. But there's a lot of people that are very interested about my thoughts on this unit.
You should have done it when you first got it.
Yeah, well, I only held off on doing it because you told me you were going to send me another unit so I could actually.
You did not. When you originally did it, you said you would never do a review that was half-assed.
Well, this isn't half-assed, mate. It didn't do anything in my room. It didn't have any effect. I've got footage.
Okay, well, Mikey got to hear. Mikey got to hear the effect.
Set up by Edgar.
Okay, that's fine.
Set up by Edgar. So
that's fine. Everybody else can try it, and they can see who's right.
Okay, Shane, do you want to make a final statement so we can close this? Because I'm going to let you go ahead and make a final statement if you'd like to.
Do you know what, mate? I'm frightened because you see, the thing is, I stand up for myself. My integrity is everything to me. And I've just been walked all over by this guy once again, because he just never lets you get a word in if it's anything negative about anything, or if it's anything that is actually the truth about something. From my point of view, and I'm done. I'm done. I came on here and it's just turned into a shit show. So thanks very much. See you later, everyone.
Okay. Cheers, Shane.
This was sent on February 12th. I've got. Let me read it.
Let's not.
I got the mics, but have demos at my house all the way up to Tampa next week. So likely can ship after that.
Okay. Let's. You guys want to hash this out?
I mean,
on your own. I'm sorry, man. I didn't know that was going to happen. I was watching the viewership, and people weren't falling off. So I just kind of let it go because I figured people were.
This is not what I'm about. I'm not about negative and stuff like this. But when people come on and imply that I did not follow through, when I'm literally telling somebody when he's going to get it and updating the entire time, and this is a favor on top of it. No other reviewer has ever gotten a free loaner of this product. And so acting entitled and then lying on your show when your viewers came up and told me, they're like, this guy's a snake. They're telling me, and they say, watch this part of the Mikey show. He's implying that you're not sending him the unit. And I look and I was like, this was within 24 hours before that. And so
well,
that's when I
make
knew
it clear.
something.
I didn't say anything like that.
Again, I don't care about the negative review, and he says he doesn't hear it. People can judge for themselves motivation, and you can tell from tone. What I had a conversation with Shane, and I apologized to him because we did have a Zoom that was done last year around January. We did a collaboration. He was always a big fan of mine, the first one to comment. And I said, yeah, I'm happy to help your channel, do a Zoom. And I did a Zoom with him. It was over 2-hour Zoom. And I only released part 1, okay? And so part 1 was mostly flattering to him, okay? And so I didn't release part 2 or 3. But then I think he took that as a slight that I did not release more parts of the video. But I got really busy with Europe trip, all these things, and it was not anything against him at all. So we talked it out actually a month or so ago, and we said this was a great talk because it's good to have this kind of one-to-one versus assuming stuff. But then evidently there's still some animosity here. There's no really way for me to resolve this at this point. I've tried calling him directly. I've tried talking.
Let's drop it.
Yeah.
Let's drop it. Let's get on to something more.
Yeah,
awesome.
I'd like to talk about the show, whatever else.
Where's your cowboy hat, dude? I'll tell you what. You had some of the most bad. I'll tell you what. I was jealous of your fucking rhinestone cowboy boots.
Let me go get it real quick.
I wanted some of those motherfuckers. You should have seen the cowboy boots this guy was wearing. He was wearing some cowboy boots that had frickin' rhinestones on them. I was like, holy shit, dude. That is some serious ass. Who is it that Liberace? Not Liberace. I don't know. I'd go Liberace there, but Elvis. Some Elvis ass shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I know this is going to confuse some people, but it says AJ.
Audiophile Junkie. Nice.
Yeah.
So, you got the horns on it and shit too.
So I actually, because these have become so popular, I actually started a business where I sell them now.
You're kidding. Let's see.
Because you know what's, I'll tell you, wearing something like this, people can make fun of it and whatnot. And it does, I don't begrudge people making fun of me. That's fine. But the problem is, without this hat, sometimes you end up meeting people you never would meet. Some people will come up to you, have a conversation, ask you about it, want to take pictures. So you end up meeting people you otherwise wouldn't. Right.
Yeah, that's great, man. Love it.
I'll make you one if you want.
Yeah. An OCD Mikey.
Actually, you said hi to me in the hall one point when you were wearing a hat. I said I didn't even recognize you when you were wearing a hat.
Oh yeah, I was wearing a baseball cap. Yeah, that's right. You went by. You were just.
I was like who's calling my name? And at first, I didn't recognize you with a hat.
Oh, it's Mikey.
Your hair is usually so noticeable.
Yeah, man. Cool. Well, I'll tell you. From my experience, the BACCH was definitely. I got a great sense of what it was doing. It was absolutely audible. It wasn't like, is it doing anything or not? It was definitely doing something. It was clear to hear. Interesting. I'm not a headphone guy. I don't listen to headphones. I don't have, I've got this pair. I don't have, I soldered together a headphone amp one time. I went for it at one point. I bought some Audeze and I made up some tube headphone amps and all that shit. And I just wasn't into it. I don't know. I don't like headphone listening, but that was fun. How I felt was I'd love to sit and trip out on some psychedelic music and listen to this shit because it was doing some whacked out shit in my head. I was like, man, I'd like to test this out with some real heavy psychedelic music and see how it goes, man.
And we could do next time, we could do the slider thing. So some people that don't like everything in front of you and you're more conditioned, because I'll tell you, when I first auditioned it, I had a similar reaction. I couldn't release this video because it had Hotel California. And I was able to choose the track that I did in Edgar's room. And I chose Hotel California, not thinking it's banned. I don't know if you've ever.
Oh yeah. That's right.
It's a banned song.
Yeah, you can't do it. Yeah.
So I was recording, but I couldn't release it. But anyway, when I heard it, Hotel California is played on all the systems at the shows. It's almost like Keith Don't Go and whatnot. And I was like, man, this is so different than what I'm used to, you know? And it's like, is this real or is it fake, you know? And so, but then I realized I had the DVD of When Hell Freezes Over. And what people are playing now in the streaming version is from the DVD, Hotel California, not the original recording.
Got you.
So when you hear Hotel California now, it's from that DVD concert. And
yeah, the live one where it's like, doom,
yes. And so I have that DVD and I love it. It's a great recording to play on your multi-channel. And so when I was listening to it, the thing that gave me the light bulb is like, oh, wait, actually, this is right, because I remembered what the visual was. And so one thing that we did the second night, and I can do this in Dallas for anybody that can't hear the difference or wants to know if it's real, is that we can bring up recordings from YouTube that are binaural and where they're recording it, and they show you where the head is, and then they show you where the instruments are. So you are quasi seeing the recording being made.
Oh, wow.
And you can play that YouTube on the BACCH through your system.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can tell, oh yeah, the violin player is at 10 o'clock. He is over here. And that kind of proves what you're hearing is real or not. Now you can still say, like, I totally understand if you say, I just don't like that. I want it a different way. Totally understand that. That's like what I'm talking about, food. But the other thing we can do is with those mics in your ear, they not only record what's in the room, what they do, the frequency response, what you can do is turn the room into a recording studio. And so what he does, sometimes Edgar does, is he will, for people that don't know if it's real or want to get it proof, he will stand at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and talk to you while recording with those mics in your ears. And then he'll come up and whisper in your ear into those mics. And then he'll play it back on his system.
Oh, wow, wicked.
And so you were at the recording. So you cannot say, yeah, actually he was at 12 o'clock. When I'm hearing him behind me, that's where he was. So again, you can still not like it. You can still not want it. Nobody has to buy it. You've got 15 days to try it. But I'm just saying, if you want to prove things about whether it's real or not, or whether there's a difference, there's one button push like you saw firsthand.
Yeah. That was it was a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of fun. I can only imagine adding it to video and being able to see the whole thing going across, you know. I mean, it'd be good shit.
Yeah. I apologize earlier for this getting off the rails. That's not what
me
I'm
too.
all about.
I mean, I'm looking through, I'm reading, I'm probably not going to go over all these comments, but it seems like a lot of people didn't, I mean, I'll ask people, if this happens again, what do I do? Do you guys want to hear these things follow through, or should I just axe it right off the cuff? Because this thing went off the rails quick, and I just sat back and sort of let these guys hash it out.
I've got to thank your viewers, because it was your viewers that came up to me, because I would watch your show. I used to watch your show all the time when I had time. And, we were friends even before you had a channel, but I've gotten so busy now, I don't get a chance to watch. So, but my members watch, and some of even your customers were telling me what was being said. And that was much different than what I was getting firsthand. So I apologize. It's something we should have taken offline, but when somebody calls in, and that's the first question, I'm like,
it's the first thing. It's the first time this ever happened to me. I don't know what to do now. It's just like, holy shit, what do I do? But what I typically do is I watch the number of people watching, and if they start falling off, I'm like, okay, I got to change whatever the fuck's happening.
Well, people like drama, and that's not what I'm about, though. But I can't let things go on. Like, one thing I cannot, like, especially with vendors, when people act entitled, I do all my coverage for free. I don't charge anybody. I don't shake anybody down. So if people act entitled, then that rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah. Yep, I get it. I know, because we all have our own business, and it's like, it's funny sometimes. I'll get people that will call Very rarely. Okay. But every once in a while, I get somebody that calls that starts treating me like, or talking to me like I'm their servant. Like somehow they have it in their mind the customer's always right, or something. And then they just like that entitles them to talk down to me or start acting in a certain way. And at some points I've told them, go buy from somebody else. And boy, do they get pissed when I tell them that. It's like, I don't care if it's 20 grand. I don't want your sale.
Well, one thing I have to be more cognizant of is that, and you've probably seen this, you're even bigger channel than me. When you're young in a channel, you have a lot more free time and you can dedicate time. And then as you get bigger and then you got more stuff to cover, then some people that you covered a lot before or helped before may take it as a slight if you don't cover them as much and think it's something personal, but it's just limited bandwidth sometimes I have to be able to do everything. And so if I promise somebody something, and that's one thing I did apologize to Shane, because I did tell him we were going to do more content together. I just didn't have the bandwidth to do it. And whether that was motivation or not, I don't know. But well, he actually did over the phone. We talked about it. And again, I apologize for that. But at this point, it's more of a case of when we grow as a channel, I think people need to understand that it's nothing a slight if we don't. 3 rooms I would have, or best friends of mine, I didn't carry. I didn't go to JR Boss Player. He's the best friend of mine. I didn't even cover him at the Tampa show. The Audio Note guys, I think you're friends with them, huh?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
I didn't even get into their room. ISO Acoustics. Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to get into their room. It's more of a case of sometimes the bandwidth of, what we do is sometimes limited, and it's not a slight that I'm not, doing stuff with somebody. Right.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. All right, man. Well, I won't keep you on any longer, brother. I think
I got to get another video out. The Southwest Audio Fest is the next thing. I'm going to be releasing that.
For sure, man.
Look forward to seeing you there. If you come down to Houston, let me know.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Thanks for joining us tonight, man.
All right, it was fun. Okay, semi-fun.
Gonna make good TV.
You probably need to delete this. It's not really that, but you do whatever you need to do.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Okay.
All right, y'all.
All right, take care,
man. Okay, cheers.
How do I get off of this thing? Actually,
I think I'll just. I think you just. Let's see if I'll go like this. Yeah, like that. Okay, there you go. So you can just hang up. However, Jason, you're not. We can't see you anymore. You're off. Let's see. Let's see. Kick from studio. Let's see. Audio file doing me roof. Okay. There. Okay. So you're off now. Okay. So I will see. I'm going to sift through. I'm going to go back for the gang that's watching right now. I will try and sift through some of these things here so I can see. So I can get to the good stuff. Let's see. Need to start having a wrist check based on the watch selections. Yeah, man. I mean, that would be cool if people come on and start talking about watches. Just because I'm new to it, so I'm excited about it. It's fun for me. I try and find people in public that I look at everybody's watches and I try and spot watches on people, and it's really rare. I mean, it's probably almost as rare as hi-fi. It's like you just don't see ones that you recognize. Maybe a Rolex here and there. But the unique ones, still, I've not run into anybody with a JLC or a Breguet or a, any unique old school, brands. So we'll see. Equal out of triangles, Earl and Mike, show this fact by pouring a drop the triangle glass of water. Ooh, that's too much for me. That's over my pay grade. A cancellation signal needs to be generated for inter-oral crosstalk. Okay, these were things probably you went over. Tariff is not something that will raise the price much on things in America. With tariff comes minimum salary, better conditions for them who have lower paid jobs. Esoteric is made in Japan. TIAC is all right. TIAC owns Esoteric, and they merged together a year ago. Okay, so, but the I talked with the TIAC, an Esoteric distributor here in a certain region, and he said he had a 10% price hike. So TIAC is made in China. But TIAC probably, I think, makes parts for the esoteric product. For some reason, TIAC got a 10, I'm sorry, esoteric got a 10% hike. And I was told it was because the stuff was made in China. Maybe it's the sub-assemblies or something like that. Very true. This is how people get stuck if it isn't a fit and fire sell stuff. My first audio dealer I dealt with did what Mikey did, 100% trade in within the first year, no questions, for sure. Doesn't a dealer have to be authorized by the manufacturer to sell equipment under warranty? They absolutely do. Yep, they do. But then each dealer can take, that differently. Either the dealer can be very good and handle all the warranty stuff, or he can shove you off to the manufacturer and kind of wipe his hands of you or brushes, whatever, blow you off and just let you deal direct with the manufacturer, or he can handle it and be concierge and do the whole thing for you, and this is hi-fi, man. I think you should be taken care of. I like the fact that you deal with a smaller tailored section of equipment that you are very familiar with and have experienced personally. Yeah. I mean, the stuff that I carry are things that I'll put my name on. Like, I have to believe in them that well. I won't just sell things that sell well. I won't just sell the big names because they're easy to sell. And just regurgitate, all the stuff that everybody's selling. They're handpicked for a reason, because I give a bona fide guarantee on them. Jason Wild didn't make the connection. Nice. Okay, cool. So now who it is. Great. Get Mikey. Junkie show coverage over the years is great. Certainly a friend to the audiophile community. Yes, for sure. Nice watch. Thanks, Bry. It's a Cartier. Eres Procurador de los Tribunales. Am I a procurer for what? Tribunal? What tribunal? Who knows, man? Hey, Mikey and Tribe, can you please describe the Fisher & Fisher sound signature again? I believe you said from the center, it leans right to musical opposed to left analytical. We loved chatting with you last week. Yeah, it was great, Kenny. Yeah, I mean, if perfectly, absolutely transparent is dead straight down the middle, right? A 5, then and musical is towards 10, and then analytical is at 0. Then it would be 1 tick towards musical. So it would be like, a 6, if that's our scale. That's where Fisher & Fisher is. It just leans a little bit natural and organic. It is not at all rolled off, and it does not at all lack detail. It just doesn't have, any glare or hard edges. It's just, you can still see very well the detail. You eat with your eyes. That's for sure, man. That's why I always back up off that shit when I'm eating it. Boo! Rooms with pride of ownership. Yes, it makes a difference. That's right. Some rooms have pride in how they demonstrate their product, and others, they just throw it in there and say it's just about the sound, but seeing is believing. Jason, with a well sorted out rig in a large room with Otter's Moon, at what point will the BACCH shine? We can, sorry I didn't get this while we were talking to Jason. The BACCH is just interested. It will change up the imaging. It's not like BACCH is not something that is meant to that I know of, that is meant to, like, well, I don't want to speak out of turn because I don't rep the company and I don't know exactly what their aim is. But to me, okay, when I was listening, it sounded like this is something different. This is not trying to be a hi-fi system. It's trying to do its own thing here, which is be more like headphones. That's what it sounded like to me. Like, this is more like headphones. So you either have to like that or not like that, right? And then if you like that, if you like something that's closer to headphones, then you might love it. Demo at OCD, it's the real deal. It's a breakout product. I know Gary loves it. I like what I have, man. I like crosstalk. Several manufacturers have room correction systems. Macintosh Legacy Audio. What makes BACCH system unique? The fact that you can measure for your ears. None of those Macintosh Legacy Audio, none of those have microphones that go in your ears at all. And BACCH does. So BACCH corrects for your ear pinna. So Shane says yes, but performance in a tracking room. which is what he means. The tracking room is the where the console is in the recording studio. It does not have artists behind you unless you are doing a binaural recording. Yeah. So Shane's saying basically it's not in a recording. It sounds a little different when you're in that. Hit that like button, folks. I'm here for Mikey. That's right, man. Hit the like, hit the thumbs up button. Good point. Talking about that. They don't correct for individuals' ears when we go to a classical concert. Okay, yeah, and Steve brought this up in the discussion. This continues the lonely man stigma of this product. Yep, that's an interesting. Same case could be said for Wilson speakers because they're totally dialed in for one listening space. Shane wants to test with recordings that he's done because he knows where the artists were, and so he wants to see if it rings true. Steve is a tribe member now. Right on, Steve. Welcome. Enjoying your channel, bro. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on. If you're Harsha's buddy, then get on the phone and call me up, man, and I'm happy to consult with you. It doesn't cost anything. You buying this OCD? Guess seems a little pitch. Yeah, he represents it and he promotes it. So yeah, he's promoting. And I just wanted to bring him on to talk a little bit more because I think people are interested in BACCH. It's an interesting thing. Nobody else is doing it. And I'm not qualified to talk about it. So, and people ask me, and I'm just not qualified to talk about it. So I thought might as well bring Jason on and talk about it and let you guys know that, I know Jason, Jason, I met Jason when he bought a Virastar power cord, and I don't know if he still got it, but he was really loved the Virastar product. And that's how he was a customer of mine. That's how I got to know Jason. What about HQ Player? And when he told me he was going to start a channel, I encouraged him. I said, do it, man. Go for it, bro. Encourage him. What about HQ Player? HQ Player, interesting thing, man. It is the engineer's software, if you will. It's so infinitely tweakable that you kind of have to have an engineering mind to really to get around that interface. If you are more of a simple person that doesn't want all a million parameters and all these different choices and all these different settings, then you might not like HQ Player because HQ Player is infinitely tweakable. And so people that have brains like engineers love HQ Player. But if your brain is like a common man, it might be a little much for you. It's too much for me. I'm not into that much rigmarole. I'd rather spend more money on my gear where I don't feel that I need to use software to get it up to performance level. I'd rather just buy a more expensive DAC and then just not need anything, and just whatever I put into it sounds phenomenal. So I go at it about a little different approach. Home Alone, Kill 'Em With Kindness, groovy chillax tunes. Okay, we'll check that out. Food, audio, wine, people are sophisticated. Yes, we just like to chow and drink and smoke. Make a little love. 40% bump problem from you guys hyping it. Bump. What's that? I mean, you guys have heard me. I'm not hyping it. I'm bringing Jason on to go ahead and talk about it. I don't like headphones and I don't like the sound coming at me from the side. So to me, it's not something that I prefer. That thing, but some people do. It's not my thing. But it was fun, and it was like it would be fun to listen to psychedelic. Like I told you, it was like totally psychedelic. I thought it was cool. I thought it was really a cool thing. So it's worth mentioning. Good Barbecue is in Deep Ellum. Terry Black's and Pecan Lodge are both excellent. Cool, man. The restaurant in the damn hotel is freaking off the chain, bro. They had the best steaks. I mean, we ate them and it was world-class steaks. Tribe and peeps, please remember to like and subscribe. It's free. That's right. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subbed yet. Help support the channel and the content. Apple AirPods Max have been head tracking feature that can be toggled off or on. Okay, that's interesting. Damn, does he ever quit? Thanks for having Jason on. Planning on going to Southwest and looking forward to hearing this product. Do it, man. For sure. That would be cool. Call Danny and set it up, and he and Mikey can hug it out. Yeah. I mean, it'd just be fun to do I mean, these are just the kind of things that are sort of fun. The bottom line is just use what sounds good to you. You know, these other, everything else is just for entertainment. It's like the circus. We're doing the circus for you guys. We are PT Barnum, you know, do the ring, you know, master, doing all this shit to entertain you guys. So to do what Jason's talking about, it serves no other purpose other than to entertain you guys. But I think would be entertaining. So it would be cool. Oh, cool. Two of my favorite audio YouTubers. Thanks, man. Dan, great surprise guest. Didn't see that coming, but enjoying it. Right on, man. My two faves. Thanks, Craig. What software are you two using? Software for what? This is great. Hi-fi audio satire. There you go, man. Come on, man. Let's talk about the BACCH. I think we did. BACCH kicks ass. I have several. There you go, man. Jason is an expert on this subject. That's why he was on. Yes. You don't need this, Mikey. This must have been right when the argument started. Jason and Edgar are top class. Yeah, for sure. I won LED crazy glasses. My kid loves them. I won those things too, bro. But then I started wearing them and I'm like, and then I tried to go to sleep after having those on my head and my brain was doing weird shit. And I'm like, these are not good for me, man. Especially when they were blinking and doing weird shit. And I'm like, this is some Chinese ass shit. Like, messing my brain up. It's a conspiracy. They're going to kill me. So I left them in the hotel along with that freaking toxic hand warmer. I kid you not. I should have taken a damn video of that freaking manual. I don't know why I didn't. I was going to make a video, but I'm like, no, it was nice of them to give me a gift. I'm not going to make a video showing that, you know, that the thing they gave me has a warning about if a gel, what did they say? If a gel comes out of this, seeps out of this thing, and gets on your skin, wash it immediately and go to the nearest hospital. I was like, holy shit, I'm leaving this thing in the hotel room, man. I ain't taking it with. This is all very LOL, bring in the clowns. So this is when it started happening. Thumbs up all. Thanks. Very unprofessional. Pull the plug. Okay, so I'm getting it. Mikey's sweating bullets. I know. I didn't know what the hell to do. I'm like, holy shit. Okay, so people think it was ridiculous and didn't like it. Doing this live is ridiculous. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to go through. I'm going to skip all these. Let's see. Okay. Don't take any of these people. Let's see. Hello. Here's someone. Hello. Anyone for a joint? Yeah. No doubt, dude. It was time for one. We needed a spliff, man. Big time. Great moderation, Mikey. I didn't know what to do, brother. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I knew I was keeping my BACCH 5 minutes after hearing it. Okay. That's a positive response. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to keep skipping these. OCD face expression says it all. I know, dude. I was like, oh, come on, man. What the hell? Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I might. This is looking kind of neg. So I might. What do you guys think? Do I leave this live stream up or do I nuke it? You know, you guys tell me and I'll do what you think. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, all tech Lansing. Woo! Voice of the theater. Booth. Let's see. Okay, where? Okay, let's see. Here's one. My question is, how do you use this Mac edition? It comes with a Mac. Okay, so the first one, the $900 one, is an piece of software that you put on your Mac, or it's a plugin, I'm guessing, and then everything that you play through your Mac is treated. And then you give distances. You plug in your parameters rather than it doing the measuring on its own, which normally it does with its microphones. You give the parameters. I am, my ears are 8 feet away from the speakers, and you plug in all that data, and then it does it approximates, so it's not full tilt. for you in your ear pinna. It's more so approximation. And if you have a 2-channel system with the streamer and DAC, where do you install this? Onto your into your streamer. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, it replaces your streamer. And it replaces your streamer. It's on the source. Let's see. Mikey, do you ever listen to quality vintage hi-fi gear? I do not, but I have a cool piece in the other room that I just love the way it looked. It was so classic, and it's an old Pioneer. And I was like, that thing is so cool. I want it. I went to a guy's house here who had freaking a hoard. He had this shit from the floor to ceiling in every room of his house. I kid you not. There had to be 5,000 pieces of gear in there. I mean, he seriously had a problem. Like it is like, that guy had a problem. There was the garage stacked up to the ceiling, every hallway in his house, every bedroom full of audio gear, dude, all of it vintage. Just the craziest thing in the world I've ever seen. And I found a choice little piece and I'm like, I want that one. And I took it home with me. Got it for like whatever, a couple $100 or something. Hey, Mikey. Hey, what's up? What's up, Nick? Okay. What equipment do you need for the BACCH Mac? A Mac streamer, a Mac Mini or something like that. Here's one for the let him battle it out. It was fun and everybody was commenting. So Tony likes the battle royale. I guess I can play it by ear. You know, I just watch. You know, exit, but it's pretty overwhelming that people want to not to do it. Did business with Jason Edgar, top class, not random, childish reviewer. Problem is way too much time on the topic. Things go too far. I should stop it. Okay. Okay, here's one. I hope Mikey doesn't hide delete the stream. So there's one for it. I'm asking you guys, what do I leave it up or do I delete it? Shane and Jason seem like nice guys. They should solve this in private, not on the show. That's what I felt like. Like, holy shit, it's not cool to use my platform and my thing to go after one another. You know, it's. I think again, I think that should be done in private too. It's like, you know, just don't. Hey, Mike, you ever heard of Silent Pound? No, I didn't, but I got your Silent Pound. That's a funny name. Silent Pound sounds like something for like a, you know, metaphor for sex, right? Silent Pound. It's funny. Shane has, oh, sorry. I want my sound system its own thing in the room, not my head. I want my sound system to be its own thing in the room, not in my head. I'm not a big fan of headphones. Yeah, you have to try it and then decide. Leave it up for 24 hours every day. It's pure physics. The quality of music and talking drops when you raise the gain preamp for the setting of remote distance for the sake of showing your face on camera. Songs dry nearby or high fire. Okay. I'm not sure that we, you know, need to worry too far about it. Leave it. Okay. A little controversy is good on this channel. And the hobby, does it work for PC in any way or only Mac? Only Mac. I asked the same thing because I'm not a Mac guy. Set a timer, 2 minutes each person on the topic, like the what's your final comments question to sum the top. Yeah. Leave it up. I think viewers can draw their own conclusions. Robert says, good times, baby. Really loved your video on the isolation versus direct coupled. Very informative. I'm glad you guys like that. That was kind of a cool thing. I still have to do it with the people want me to do it with the DAC, I guess, to show how it changes on the DAC. I'll do it with the DAC. I was going to do it tonight. I'm a little freaking tired now after 2 hours of this, but 2 hours and 15 minutes, man. Still loving your Liberty audio. Sure, man. Those are great, dude. Those were awesome. Who's your next guest? It's secret. I got one though. I got more than one. I'd leave it up. It's what you okay. Use it for yourself. Channel. Keep growing and making good content. Just don't let it bother you. Keep it up, Mikey. Right on. Will you still be welcome in Australia? Oh, geez. I'm sure. I got nothing against Shane, man, at all. He was a little hot tonight, and it derailed my show a little bit. But you know, hey, man, the more that happens, the more I learn how to be a good host. Right? I need that to sharpen my skills. Check out Reference 3A Reflector Speakers. What do you think? Yeah, I have not checked them out. Don't know much about them, but I know the brand you're talking about. Oh, geez, you guys, I'm tired. It's been 2 hours and 15 minutes. This is time for Mikey to go bye-bye. So it's bedtime. And tomorrow is Monday. I got lots of things to do. First of all, let me thank everybody for the business they gave me last week. I mean, after the show, I've sold 4 pairs of speakers, you know, including the one at the show, and a couple full rigs that I'm putting together for some folks. And so I'm doing what I'd love to do. So thank you all for your business. I appreciate that. And I will talk to you guys soon. So thanks everybody for joining. I will see you on Wednesday. See you.